Every day, potentially hazardous products are encountered on the roads and in the workplace. These products may bear names as foreign and complex as perchloroethylene or as common as paint. But one thing is certain, they may present a hazard. They may be dangerous goods, where the hazard is assessed and classified for transportation under TDG. They may be hazardous materials subject to WHMIS, for use in the workplace. Often, they are both. TDG, the Transportation of Dangerous Goods Program, and WHMIS, Workplace Hazardous Materials Information System. These are two distinct programs with separate mandates. However, both use symbols to warn about hazards. Your familiarity and understanding of both is an important role in providing maximum safety for yourself, the public, and the environment. One of these programs aims at promoting public safety during the transportation of dangerous goods. This is TDG. The other program directs its attention to the workplace and aims at providing workers with information to be used for their protection while using controlled products. This is WHMIS. Two separate programs are necessary to deal with the range of hazards posed by different circumstances. Hazards encountered while transporting dangerous goods tend to be immediate and acute threats to health, safety, and the environment. Those encountered by workers who are handling these products on a day-to-day basis range from acute health effects to chronic health problems as a result of long exposure. TDG uses placards and labels to carry these symbols. The presence of these diamond-shaped labels on packages and placards on delivery equipment are your guides to safety. It is important to remember that dangerous goods properly packaged do not pose a threat as long as the integrity of the package is intact. The TDG labels and placards are intended to warn emergency responders of the hazards posed should the goods be involved in an accident. TDG provides identification of the dangerous goods during transportation. Day after day in the workplace, workers will be exposed in the course of their regular work to hazardous materials, which may have long-term effects on their health. The WHMIS round signs pictograms will draw the workers' attention to the fact that care must be exercised and that safety information is available. WHMIS ensures that employers have information needed to educate and train employees in the safety protocol for the handling of hazardous materials in the workplace. Both TDG and WHMIS have set specific requirements to ensure that proper and uniform procedures are followed. TDG requires all dangerous goods transported to be accompanied by shipping documents, for labels and placards to properly identify the hazards, and for training to have taken place. It is the responsibility of all involved in the transportation of dangerous goods to ensure at every step of the way that all goods are properly labeled, documented, and handled. WHMIS requires all hazardous products to be properly labeled and for the material safety data and education programs to be available. It is the responsibility of the suppliers of these materials to provide necessary documentation to the employer, who must, in turn, make this information accessible to the employee. By now, we know that WHMIS labels are intended to direct workers' attention to day-to-day safety precautions when using hazardous materials. Products regulated under the federal legislation are classed by their properties. WHMIS classifies products by subgrouping into 6 classes. Class A, compressed gas. Class B, flammable and combustible material. Class C, oxidizing material. Class D, poisonous and infectious material. This is the only class with more than 1 pictogram. Each division is identified by its own pictogram. Class E, corrosive material. Class F, dangerously reactive material. It is important to remember that each product can have more than 1 hazard symbol. As for TDG labels, they are intended to provide emergency information for responders dealing with an accident. Note the diamond-shaped labels. In an emergency, they will give you the information you need. Here is a brief explanation of the 9 classes of dangerous goods which are defined by the Transportation of Dangerous Goods Act. Class 1, explosives. These are also regulated by the Explosives Act. There are 6 divisions, 1 through 6. Class 2. These are products that are packaged as compressed gases. There are 4 divisions. Class 3. Flammable liquids. Class 4. These products are grouped as flammable solids and better defined by the 3 divisions. Class 5. These are products with the property of being an oxidizing substance. There are 2 divisions, and the safety marks are distinguished by recording the division in the lower area of the diamond. Class 6. These are products defined as poisonous substances. There are 2 divisions. Class 7. These are also regulated by the Atomic Energy Control Act. Materials that possess radioactive properties. Class 8. Corrosive substances. Class 9. Miscellaneous products or substances. Better defined as 3 divisions, but represented by the same safety mark. Danger placard. Present on transport units that are handling more than 1 class of dangerous goods.
Emergency 911, what's your emergency?
It may be important to understand the hazards to which you may be exposed. TDG and WHMIS are different tools which may help, each in their proper context, to identify these hazards.
This is a level 2 hazmat call, intersection of George and Carolyn. Report of an overturned tanker truck with an unknown chemical leaking, also a person trapped. Platoon 1, Pump 1, Pump 11, Truck 1, Rescue Unit 1, Command Unit, Squirt 6, Support Unit.
It is easy to see the importance of TDG labels and placards in this transportation emergency. The emergency responders in this situation were all familiar with TDG labels and placards. As a result, they were able to work together and swiftly eliminate the danger. This was just a reenactment of an emergency situation, but TDG labels guide emergency responders through serious dangers daily. Labels, placards, pictograms. Recognize them, understand them. They will guide you in the safeguarding of health, property, and the environment. TDG, Transportation of Dangerous Goods. All labels, placards, and shipping documents must always be in order so that emergency responders will be alerted to a potential hazard and to the nature of the threat posed in the event of an accident. WHMIS, Workplace Hazardous Materials Information System. The presence of hazardous materials may pose a constant threat to health. Pictograms are your first steps to understanding the safety measures that need to be taken. The next step is consulting the materials safety data sheet that WHMIS requires to be present in every workplace where controlled products can be found. Information and education are the keys to safety in the workplace. Know what you are working with before an emergency occurs.
Emergency 911, what's your emergency?
Accidents happen. Emergencies arise. If you are faced with a transportation emergency, CanUTech, the Canadian Transport Emergency Centre, is on hand 24 hours a day to provide the assistance and information you may need to cope with an emergency situation. Their databanks hold information on several thousand commercial products. Consulting CanUTech in the event of a dangerous goods emergency can save time, property, and lives. Have their number handy at all times. TDG and WHMIS. These programs are designed for your safety. Making sure that they are properly followed is your responsibility. Be aware, be informed, be safe. The TDG and WHMIS pictograms complement each other. Their prime duty is to provide information, both directly and by guiding you to additional information.